Hello everyone and welcome to another race highlight video. This was meant to come out the other day, but it's coming out now. I had to go and hunt for the replay from another player, which I eventually found, so here you have it. We have Angelov on P1, followed by Key in P2. P3 for Aguila, and then in P4 we have Jax 1882. P5 for Bottle Sparks in the Ferrari. P6 for Aura in the Audi TT, so starting ahead of me. In P7 we have IA Racing in that Mercedes. P8 for Parada in the Aston Martin. P9 for Hugo in the Nissan GTR. P10 for Unfazed in the Porsche. Unfortunately for us, P11 in the other Audi, and P12 for Fatal Vasca there. P13 for Ramucho in another Mercedes. P14 for MX Steve there in the Lexus. P15 for Johnny in the Toyota, that'll struggle. P16 for the Porsche of Mind. P17 for Muzzle Todd there in the Lamborghini. P18 for Rambazamba. P19 for RK, and then P20 for Adam Tonkins there. So this is Exhibition C Series Season 3 Round 3. So this is from quite a while ago, and judging by the title, you can already see this is not an F in an FF, and this is actually the final Audi TT race we are going to be uploading to the channel, because of course I have left Audi after this season, just because of the FF problem. Fortunately for us in this race, the FF isn't as much of a problem in terms of the tyre wear, because that is of course the main problem. But even so, we still have to be wary of that, because even though it's low multiplier, it still affects us more than any other car. And as you'll see later on, the Audi has some more issues as well. So you can see we're staying in 5th for as long as possible. 5th gear really is the best gear for this Audi TT. The minute you hit 6th, you start to struggle. And you can see now we've just given Unfazed a little bit of a bump there to try and catch up to Hugo in that GTR up ahead. Now, heading towards the first corner, which always is a bit sketchy at this circuit in any class of racing. Fortunately for us, we get round it safe and sound. Nobody goes for any huge dive bombs or anything like that, and we carry on. So, this race, we are going to be after super duper smart. We can literally not overtake on the straights in the slightest. We have to do it on the corners, and there's not really very many of those. So, this race is going to be an interesting one. We've got lots of little jumps in this race to jump around. You know, we're fighting lots of different battles in here. It's all really well and good. You can see there, too wide up ahead, not very good to do in the chicane, so they all back out of it. We get on the outside of Unfazed there, who gives us the racing room there. Good sportsmanship like conduct there by Unfazed. We go around the outside, and as I said earlier, 5th gear is the dream gear in this car, so we jump to the TV camera, and we do get that position. And oh my word, does this race look good in the TV camera. And there's lots of TV camera footage in this video, because I say it looks so good. Look at that. This is one thing I like about Manufacturer Series, and I've mentioned it before, is the fact that you can literally look at this and you go, this looks like a real life race. You've got lots of different manufacturers, lots of different liveries, everyone's racing, it looks very clean. It's just nice. So, you know, I can't wait for the future of Gran Turismo, what it holds, because if it's like this on the PS4, what will it be like on the PS5? But you can see we're on the inside there of the hairpin. That's just so we don't get punted to Narnia. And then we carry on through there onto the start finish straight. So we've gained a couple of positions on that lap, or one position actually. It was against Unfazed. So we're doing okay so far. One position gained. We'll see how far we can get in the race. Of course, we are going to go up. You can probably guess that by the title. There's no clickbaiting happening here. But oh, look how good that Audi TT looks. And it's the last time it's going to be used. Well, in the Manufacturer Series at least anyway. Unless they make it all-wheel drive, then it will be back. But yeah, unfortunately for us, and unfortunately for you, if you like the Audi, it is the last time. Now, just at this moment, Audi's actually bottom of the manufacturer ranking. That's how much nobody wants to race for them. So the fact that we raced for them for so long, you know, give me some credit. There will be an Audi featuring on this channel later on in the year, but for that, you'll have to wait and see. As we come into the first turn again. No one going for any huge dive bombs, just line astern there. All happy days as we continue into the next right-hander. And down the hill we go. And as I say, look how clean that looks. It looks beautiful on this Tokyo. Which one is it? East Outer Loop it is. I get confused with all these Tokyo tracks. As we continue round the left-hander and into the right. Let's jump back on board now. And let's have a look, see if we can make some more moves as we head towards the chicane again. This is one of the most critical corners on this circuit, of course, because you can make a lot of mistakes here. As you see, a couple of mistakes up ahead. Aura's going very slowly. So I go on the inside of the other Audi TT driver. IA Racing just comes across there, just stops me making that move as well. I give Aura plenty of room there on the outside, and we're up another position. So 2 positions up. Happy days, and we are now the lead Audi driver, which again is a bonus. We want to be the lead driver in any manufacturer. And through we go. We're now going to stay behind IA Racing here as we hug the left-hand wall. So it down towards the hairpin now. Obviously, this is where all the dives happen usually. Qualifying was a mess. I forgot to mention this, which is why I didn't show it really, because obviously it's a slipstream train, so everyone just stopped on the last corner basically. Now, I stay in the middle here. It's to stop any dive bombs, as we nearly get rear-ended there by somebody. I'm not sure who it was. It might have been Unfazed, but Unfazed managed to stop it just in time there. You saw it on the radar. So close. As we accelerate out the corner. Now, Aura is behind us. So Aura is going to be our little wingman here because we know Aura can only go the same speed as us. We're in the same cars. Happy days. We can just focus on up ahead. So, as I said, 5th gear is the sweet spot. I'll watch 6th gear now as we head down the straight. Just watch everyone start to pull away from us. At the moment, it's all fine and dandy. But now we're hitting our limits of the car. Everybody starts moving away. As you can see, that gap on the left-hand side going up. And this is why this race is a hard one for the Audi TT. It's why we didn't qualify very well. There's just no top-end speed at all in this car. And with the downforce as well, without slipstream, we struggle even more because obviously the air hits the car. There's that much downforce on it. It just stops the car dead, basically. As you see, we nearly get rammed there by Ramucho. I think just misjudged braking in the first corner there just slightly. Nearly rear-ended us. Fortunately didn't, so we can carry on racing, stay in that P9 position. Aura's got ahead again there, so it gives us a bit of breathing room as well as we head towards the left-hander once again. Let's see if we can make any more moves here. So in 2 laps, we've done 2 moves here. Are we going to make it 3 out of 3? That's the question as we head here now. Take it nice and smooth. You notice our balance of throttle there. That's just to maintain the speed through that corner. We've got a lot of downforce, as I said just before, so we can maintain more speed than a lot of other people. And then into the right-hander. Are we going to do it? Unfortunately not. Hugo hits a wall there. It slows us down. It's going to put us in the clutches of Aura here, but fortunately for us, we do not lose a position and we advance a little bit later on in the race now. And you can see we've actually broken that gap there. Unfazed and Aura were fighting quite a lot, and they've lost the slipstream now to this gaggle of cars up ahead. Now, obviously, the further up the grid you go, the faster the car is in a straight line, basically, at Tokyo. You're going to see us just struggle again here. Hugo in the GTR is very fast here. That GTR just storms. I mean, look at the gap just going up. We're all in slipstream here. We've lost 2 temps there, and now 3 temps. And we're going to be 4 temps on the straight there. In slipstream we lost. So, you can see this is we're going to have to do some smart racing. Now, you will have noticed that we gained a position on the straight, and you also notice Botspot's got a penalty. So, let me explain what happened there. Angelov, who was up near the front, actually couldn't see anybody racing, or could only see a few people, not everybody. So, Angelov, fair play, actually just left the race. People were going onto his stream saying, you know, you are, risking everybody here, you need to leave, and he actually left. So, shout out for that. Unfortunately, Bottlespark got a penalty. I'm not sure whether that was involved in that or not, but we managed to make a move on Hugo as well. So we're up at several positions here at the moment. Just went around the outside there of Hugo. Aguila's gone really slowly through the chicane, so we'll have another position here. So we've gone up a heck of a lot of positions there. 3 positions on 1 lap. Happy days. We're about to get number 4 as well with Bottlespark's penalty. So a good little lap there for us. But as I say, Angelov, fair play for leaving the race. And unfortunate for Bottlespark there with a 10-second penalty. It really is unfortunate. But even so, we've got to carry on racing. We're in a race. Technical malfunctions do happen in real life. They happen online as well, as we're going to see Bottlesparks actually dart to the right with some good sportsmanlike conduct here. Straight out the way of the racing line. Takes that 10-second penalty. It's going to be right in the thick of it further back in the mid-pack. So into the hairpin we go. Just go a little bit deep there. And we are looking after the tyres, which is why we're only doing half throttle for most of that corner, because the wheels just spin up. Any slow corners in an FF car, especially the Audi TT, it just struggles. It just spins the wheels up, and obviously that causes tyre wear. And then, yeah, it's game over. This is the second race of the night that we did. Of course, in these exhibition seasons, pre-seasons, we don't practice for a race. We do a bit of time trial and just enter the race, basically. So the first race, we realised how much tyre wear impacted us, so we are managing tyres throughout this race. So we're continuing on this straight now. Obviously, we lost loads of time here. 4 attempts, I think it was, wasn't it, on the previous lap that we lost here. And you're going to see why here. Aguila's going to come absolutely barreling past. We are in the slipstream here. Now we're not, so Aguila goes flying by here. Can't do a thing about it. Straight past. Hugo's a bit further back, so we are going to keep this 6th position. And you can see they are still fighting up ahead, which is all good for us. It means they're slowing each other down, and we can stay in the mix. Now, I'll be honest with you. At this point in the race, I was so happy with 6th place. I started P11. I'm now P6 in a slow car. Well, I say slow on a straight line at least. So we are doing very, very well here. I've got to say. Very, very, very well. So we'll see what we can do in later on in the race. As we come through here now, you can see that side-by-side up ahead, which is never good in the chicane. I said that earlier on. Never be side-by-side here. It's just going to slow everybody down, and they try and keep side-by-side. It's going to slow everybody down here. I see that. I go on the inside straight away. We get past Aguila. Hugo gives us a little bit of a bump there to get us past IA Racing as well. So we get 2 positions there. There's a little bit of contact here between Hugo and IA Racing. IA Racing is going to unfortunately get a penalty because of that. We'll see that shortly. But up into P4 here. What on earth is going on? P4 in this race? I was over the moon at this moment in time. Obviously, I knew I had to try and keep this, so I was trying to catch up to Parada at a fair pace of knots here. We are good in high-speed corners in the Audi TT. So down the hill we go, and I'm going to look behind me in just a second, and you will see that penalty that IA Racing got there. You see that little point to the camera there, you see. Just saw it briefly, red and the yellow bar. So unfortunately, if IA Racing is going to get put back into that mid-pack. It's a bit like mini madness, mid-pack madness. But through we go. Obviously a lot of wheel spin there. And we are pulling away a little bit here. 6 tenths ahead of Aguila, so we shouldn't lose that spot. So what we are going to do in just a second is advance to later on in the race. Because nothing happens for a brief moment in time. So here we are, lap number 8. And we've got Parada right in front of us now. Aguila's right behind us as well. So we've kept that P4 for now. Into the braking zone we go. Just watch Aguila in the background. Gets very close to our rear end there. I think it was going to avoid it. Slight bump there on Parada just to get around the corner. Keith's on our outside. Aguila's on our outside now. So just give Aguila that room he needs to make sure he doesn't hit the wall. And we're going to accelerate on here. Now, because Aguila's now going to have the slipstream, you're going to watch me short shift here. And that's to get in the slipstream to not lose any more positions other than the one I'm about to lose to Aguila. As you see, I lost it there. There's the short shift. Get back in that slipstream. Can we maintain this position? It's critical we try and maintain as high a position as possible because it reduces any potential penalties that could happen. As you can see, we're in 6th gear. We are just losing pace for days here on this straight. And unfortunately for us, Hugo is 2 tenths behind. Remember before, we lost 4 tenths on the straight. Yeah, we're about to lose it here. We are in the slipstream here. Hugo is not. And Hugo is still passing us here. Hugo now gets some slipstream. Just finishes that overtake. So we're back down to P6. Fortunately for us, we're 4.4 seconds ahead of the rest of the pack. So we're pretty safe at the moment that we're minimum P6. We just have to see if we can play it smart like we did earlier on with the chicane. So I'm actually going to do, in fact, before that, have a look at the battle big going on behind. Does it happen here? There you go. Look at that. You can see the absolute madness going on back there in the distance. Lots of people fighting for positions there. They really should have worked together. I'm not sure why they didn't work together, to be honest with you. You can see here, we are fighting here, but we're not slowing down in eternity, which is why we pulled so far away. Plus, these cars are very quick anyway, so it's all nice and dandy. But even so, in the next few laps, all I do really is save tyres, because I know the last lap's going to be critical for us here. These guys now, we're all fighting for the lead. The top cars are obviously going to have all the top end speed. I just have to capitalise on mistakes as I've done throughout this race. So that's what I'm going to do. Look at this camera. Oh, there you go. All the different manufacturers fighting for that victory there. How many is that? There's Mercedes, McLaren, Nissan and Aston Martin and Audi. 4, 5. I didn't even count that then. 5. So what we're going to do now, we're going to advance towards that last lap here. So here we are, heading towards the last corner. And then we will start the final lap, and let's see what we can do. So you can see not much has changed in terms of positions and orders. Everyone's just fighting with themselves here. Nobody's caught us up. It's 6 cars fighting for that first place position, yeah, that's it really. So let's jump on board now with the Audi TT, and let's see what we can do on this final lap. So here we go. You're going to watch everybody just shoot into the distance there. You can see we are 2.5 tenths behind Hugo. Let's see what we are at the end of the straight, because I guarantee that is going to change. We're in 6th gear now. And the gap is starting to go up. So you can see we're trying to stay in some form of slipstream. 3 tenths. Now 4 tenths. And then we're up to 5 tenths. We're heading towards 6 tenths. We couldn't even hit 7 tenths here before the end of the straight. There we go, 7 tenths. Oh, nearly 8 tenths there by the end of it. That's how much we lost there. But you can see everyone's fighting up ahead. There's a little bit of a barrier touch there. I do wonder if there's going to be a penalty, but there is no penalty. And you see Aguila runs quite wide here. So I go, oh, happy days here. I have to let off a little bit to avoid hitting Aguila. And I think, ooh, oh, here we go. This is the mistake I'm after. All I needed was this mistake. So we're going to go 3 wide now. 3 wide into the left-hander. I have to give room for 2 cars here, which is just enough there. Just enough room As we then hit the right-hander, you can see Aguila's got a bit of slipstream there from Key up ahead now. Hugo's on the left. I'm going to have to give this corner up to Hugo. Too wide here does not work very often, so we're going to try and have to tuck in behind. I did hope that Hugo might hit the barrier there on the chicane. Doesn't. Does very well there. As we then come through this right-hander, we're going to try and stay very, very close to Hugo here. Through there we go. And into the left-hander. Now, we're going to absolutely nail this beautifully, and we're going to be right behind Hugo. So I'm going to try and go for a dummy here. I was never going to go for this move, but I go for the dummy to try and force Hugo into a mistake. There is the mistake. Unfortunately for us, he hits a wall and bounces straight back into the racing line. Now, if that didn't happen, we would have hit P5. Unfortunately for us, he just bounced back. Pinball physics cost us a position. But you can see that I'm smiling down in that left-hand side because even so, P6, we started P11. Our car is crap on the straights, and we somehow have pulled out quite a good race in the end, really. We could have had P5 there. We could have even been fighting further up ahead. We are going to finish with the TV camera because, as I say, it's the last race with the Audi TT. Racing for Audi as well. And we can look at that Lazarus livery on the Audi TT as well. I've had a good year with Audi. It's been absolutely awesome. I'm not sure who I'm going to pick in the future. I want to thank everybody for supporting me in terms of supporting Audi, Lazarus, etc. while racing this year. We'll see who we pick next year. But unfortunately for me, or fortunately for you, whatever you want to say, it is the end of the road with Audi. And that's going to be it in terms of this video as well. Thank you so much for watching, as always. And I will see you again in the next video.